Thank you. So as I said, our charities have seen a drop in their income of 292 million. Through dipping into reserves and desperately trying to protect research, we've actually seen research investment drop by £270 million since the start of the pandemic. And that translates into a range of things. Most of our charities have tried to protect and honour existing commitments. That's not been possible in all places. We have seen new grant rounds cancelled. We have seen plans for early career researcher programmes and places delayed or dropped. At the height of the lockdown, 70% of our members' clinical trials and studies funded were stopped, paused or delayed, and that is still, the figure is down to 20%. So 20% are still on hold or cancelled altogether. Almost a third of our charities have had to cancel new research projects that are crucial to developing new treatments. And half of our members expect to have to cut their research funding still further in this coming year by over a third from what their strategies say. And that's because the funding income doesn't bounce back immediately, even with charity shops now open. It's going to take time to come back. So maybe a couple of really small examples. So from our a couple of our really small charities, but doing great research in neglected areas. So Brain Tumour have cancelled their next 2 grant rounds. So they're reducing their spend, because they haven't got the money, by up to £5.5 million over the next 5 years. That's probably around 8 fewer major research projects into researching brain tumours that can make a real difference to patients' lives. Tuberous Sclerosis Association, a small charity, a really rare genetic condition that is awful for people who have it. They've used their reserves to protect their current research, but that means there is no money available for any new research in the next few years. And Autistica, who fund research that people with autism really value, they've had to drop their commitment to an early career researcher training programme altogether. And that's just 3 small charities doing vital work into research. I could give you dozens and dozens of similar stories. So what we're looking for, looking forward, is a recognition that the medical research charities are not a nice to have. They're an essential and integral part of the ecosystem, and they have a temporary emergency. We know that funding will bounce back. We're looking for temporary short-term financial support to protect existing research and to enable new research to get going, so that the long-term impact on careers and researcher talent and projects that really can bring new treatments and hope are not damaged irreversibly. So this is, if you like, let us avoid the long COVID shadow on research. It's still time for the government to offer that funding now to help our long-term impact.
Thank you, Ms Reynolds. It's quite frightening what you've just told us there.